The city streets groaned under the weight of its secrets, the stench of poverty and neglect clinging to every alleyway and crumbling facade. Amidst this bleak tapestry, a young engineer named Joseph toiled in obscurity, his name all but forgotten in the annals of a metropolis that seemed determined to consume itself. His mind wrestled with the puzzle of a city's lifeblood, the Great Stink of 1858, a noxious miasma that had been suffocating the residents of London for months. How could a place that was home to such breathtaking beauty, the grandeur of Westminster, the verdant tranquility of Hyde Park, also be a breeding ground for disease and despair? Joseph's own home, a modest cottage in the West End, was a reflection of his conflicted state, a haven of order and precision, yet a sanctuary from the chaos that lurked just beyond his doorstep. His wife, Jane, coaxed him through the darkness with the gentle touch of a mother and the fierce love of a partner. But even her presence couldn't still the doubts that plagued him. He longed to be more than just a fixer, a man tasked with patching up the symptoms of a decaying society. He yearned to be a visionary, to leave an indelible mark on the city that had given him so much. And yet, the fear of failure, of being seen as just another incompetent in a sea of mediocrity, held him back. As he pored over his notes and maps, trying to find a way to alleviate the Great Stink, Joseph's want to rid the city of its noxious emissions began to take on a life of its own. He became obsessed with the idea of building a network of underground sewers, a grand infrastructure project that would not only cleanse the streets but also revolutionize the way the city functioned. But was this merely a surface goal, a distraction from the deeper truth that drove him? Was he truly seeking to leave his mark, or was it a desperate attempt to fill the void within? The city itself seemed to stir, as if sensing the turmoil brewing within its most unlikely of heroes. The stench, once a constant presence, began to intensify, a reminder that time was running out. And then, one fateful evening, as Joseph walked home from the office, he stumbled upon a makeshift market in Whitechapel. The vendors' cries and the wafting aromas of exotic spices filled the air, but it was the sight of a group of children playing among the stalls that caught his attention. They were laughing and chasing each other, carefree in the midst of squalor. In that moment, Joseph knew that he couldn't afford to fail. The city's children and their futures depended on him. As he watched the children, a sense of resolve settled over him, like the gentle warmth of a summer breeze. The inciting incident had struck, setting in motion a chain of events that would change the course of history. The stench of the Great Stink still lingered, a constant reminder of the city's fragility. Joseph's want to build a network of underground sewers had become an all-consuming passion, driving him to work tirelessly alongside his team of engineers and laborists. But as they delved deeper into the heart of the city, the complications began to mount. The landowners and property developers, who stood to lose valuable real estate to the proposed sewers, grew increasingly hostile. They whispered among themselves, sowing seeds of doubt and fear in the minds of the city's residents. "What of the disruption to our businesses?" they asked. "What of the lost opportunities for growth?" Joseph knew that he had to tread carefully, to balance the needs of the many against the interests of the few. As the opposition mounted, the city itself began to feel the strain. The stench, once a constant presence, grew in intensity, a grim reminder that time was running out. The residents of London, who had grown accustomed to the smells and sounds of the city, began to feel the effects of the Great Stink on their health. Children fell ill, their tiny bodies weakened by the noxious fumes. And yet, despite the mounting pressure, Joseph refused to back down. But just as it seemed that the tide was turning in his favor, a midpoint twist threw the project into chaos. A rival engineer, one who had long resented Joseph's successes, revealed a shocking truth. The proposed saws would not only alleviate the great stink, but also divert the city's waste into the Thames, creating a toxic cocktail that would have disastrous consequences. The public's perception of Joseph and his project began to shift, their confidence in him waning. The darkest hour loomed on the horizon, a time when all seemed lost and the city's fate hung in the balance. The smell of defeat wafted through the streets, mingling with the stench of the great stink. Joseph felt the weight of his failure bearing down upon him, his want to build a network of underground saws slipping further and further away. But even in the depths of despair, a spark of determination flickered within him. He thought of the children, playing among the stalls in Whitechapel, their laughter and joy a beacon of hope in a city beset by darkness. As he stood at the abyss, Joseph felt a strange sense of calm wash over him. He closed his eyes, letting the sounds of the city, the cries of the vendors, the rumble of the traffic wash over him. Sleep, he knew, would be a welcome respite from the struggles ahead. But for now, he simply stood, a man lost in the midst of a city in chaos, yet refusing to give up. Sleep tight, my friends. May the dreams of engineers past and present guide you through the darkness. As you drift off, imagine the city's streets, clean and free from the stench of neglect. Imagine the children, playing and laughing in a world where the air is sweet and the future is bright. And when you wake, remember the story of Joseph, a man who refused to give up in the face of adversity, who dared to dream of a better world, and who left an indelible mark on the city that would forever be known as his. Let us return to our tale, in Act 3, as the story of Joseph Bazalgette reaches its triumphant conclusion. But for now, dear friends, rest easy, knowing that the city's most unlikely hero is on the path to greatness. As the fog lifted from the streets of London, a sense of determination settled in the air. The year was one of great transformation, a time when the city's very fabric was being rewoven. Joseph Bazalgette, the engineer with a vision, stood at the forefront of this revolution. His mission, to rid the city of its stench and diseases, was no longer a mere dream but a beacon of hope in the darkness. The smell of smoke and grease still lingered in the air, but it was no longer an omnipresent shroud. Instead, it mingled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers in the city's gardens, a reminder of the beauty that lay hidden beneath the grime. As the sun dipped into the horizon, casting a warm orange glow over the city, Joseph walked among the people, watching them with a sense of pride. They, too, were beginning to feel the effects of his labor. But there were those who did not share his optimism. The opposition, a powerful force driven by vested interests, had been relentless in their attacks on Joseph's plans. They claimed that his ideas were impractical, that the cost of such a massive undertaking would be too great for the city to bear. Joseph, however, remained undeterred, his conviction strengthened by every passing day. The final confrontation took place in the dimly lit Great Hall of the city's council chambers. The air was thick with tension as Joseph stood before the council, his voice steady and clear. He presented his case, laying out the evidence and the data that supported his proposals. The room fell silent, the only sound the flickering of candles as the councillors absorbed the weight of his words. And then, in a moment that would be etched in the annals of history, the council voted. Joseph's plans were approved, a resounding victory for the engineer and his ideals. The city would be transformed, its saws reimagined, and its people freed from the grip of disease. The price of this triumph was high, however. Joseph had fought a lonely battle, his family and friends often at odds with his single-minded dedication to the cause. His health had suffered, too, the long hours and stress of the past year beginning to take their toll. But on this day, as the council's decision was announced, he felt a sense of vindication, a sense of purpose that went beyond the confines of his work. As the night drew to a close, Joseph walked alone through the empty streets, the city quiet and still. He felt the cool breeze on his face, the gentle rustle of leaves in the trees, a soothing melody that calmed his mind. He thought of all that had been accomplished, the lives that would be changed, and the city that would be reborn. And so, Joseph found what he had been searching for, not in the world outside, but within himself. He had discovered the strength to persevere, to hold fast to his vision even in the face of adversity. Let that thought carry you now, as the night grows quiet. You have heard his story. Now rest in it. As you drift off to sleep, imagine the sweet scent of blooming flowers, the soft rustle of leaves, and the gentle breeze on your skin. May their soothing rhythm guide you into the realm of dreams, where the lines between reality and fantasy blur. And when you wake, may you carry the lessons of Joseph's journey with you, his spirit inspiring you to strive for greatness in your own life. Subscribe to HISTOREST. Next week, we will meet another soul who changed the world one quiet decision at a time. Good night.